Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Russia will celebrate 80 years from their victory against, or Soviet Union's victory against Nazi Germany on the 9th of May. They will have a parade like always. And we have Zelensky who threatens Victory Day terrorist attack. Well, let's start chronologically. So today is the 30th of April. Now, what happened on the 30th of April 1945 in Berlin? Many things happened. But one of them was Adolf used his PPK, whatever he had, his Walter, and he blew his brains off. Okay, now, just a coincidence that I have this article here where Zelensky threatens attack on Victory Day in Moscow. What should the Russians do, could or will do if that happens? We're going to discuss Kellogg, who is US's special envoy to Ukraine and Russia, but he's not allowed to go to Russia. The Russians don't want him. And he calls the truce that Putin implemented and is going to implement. He gave the order that from the 8th until the 10th is going to be like 3 days. It's going to be a truce ceasefire. And he says, you know what? During the celebrations, the parades, the 3 days, we want a ceasefire. See if the Ukrainians who want peace and the Americans who want peace will agree to that, will be okay with that. I made a video on that 2 days ago. And this is the video. Putin declares truce ceasefire in Ukraine for 3 days. And I was thinking, why is he doing this? And I thought maybe he's afraid that someone could commit or launch an attack on the Red Square celebrations when these guys are going to have the parade. And now it seems like, yes, could be the reason why. But I think if anybody does that, I think the Russians will react as the United States of America reacted when September 11 occurred. So, I have two articles, and as I said, this video that I make. We have an article where you have Kellogg calling the ceasefire absurd. And we're going to discuss that too here. Putin's proposal for 3-day truce is absurd, says Trump's Ukraine envoy Kellogg, the guy who's not allowed the Russians that you don't show up. We want Mr. Vitkov, the Jewish diplomat who represents the Middle East. So he's the special envoy, Trump's special envoy to the Middle East. But he's dealing with Zelensky, Stein, and Putin. Two countries that are not in the Middle East. Strange, isn't it? Well, you have to have your friends close and your enemies closer, I guess. So Putin said, send Vitkov here, my friend. All right, let's start with the article where Zelensky threatens an attack. According to the Russians' interpretation, Russia Today, 30th of April 2025, Zelensky openly threatening Victory Day, terrorist attack, Moscow. The Ukrainian leader has cautioned Russia to be wary about the safety of its May 9 celebration. This guy is pushing it with his chutzpah. Ukraine's Vladimir Putin has openly threatened to target the Victory Day parade in Moscow on May 9th, according to Russian Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova. Russia has announced a unilateral 3-day ceasefire next week to coincide with the celebration commemorating the defeat of Nazi Germany in World War II. Kiev has rebuffed the move, instead demanding an immediate, unconditional 30-day truce. Okay, all right. Sometimes you have to test certain things before you agree to go deeper. Like, for instance, when you go and buy a car. You don't buy the Lamborghini, oh, I like it, here is $350,000, or I don't know, $400,000, or what kind of Lamborghini you buy. I'm going to buy it right now forever and it's mine. No, you want to test drive it at least for, I don't know, a few minutes. Don't you do this? The same is in marriage. Some people do this. Before they get married, they test one another. Sometimes they just go and rent an apartment for 6 months and try to live together and see how they will harmonize. And before they make a decision to get married. I think that's a smart move. And before that, don't you want to test the partner to see how sturdy he is, or how tight she is, or how good of a cook she is, or what provider he is? to see if you can harmonize with one another. So this guy said, oh, I'm going to give the truce for 3 days. This guy, no, 30 days. Why not 31 days? Why not 29 days? What's the magic 30 days? Why not 6 million days? All right, so with that in mind, I'm going to go to Kellogg, right? On Tuesday, Zelensky described targeting Russia's pressure points to push the country towards diplomacy. Do you think that if something happens during the celebrations, the parade in Moscow, that would push Russia to diplomacy or to nuclear attack? I think the second will happen, as he reiterated the ceasefire call, and I'm quoting, they are now concerned that their parade is not their parade, is the parade of a victory against the evil, we're taught. But their parade is in jeopardy, and rightly so. Why they should worry about is that this war continues. Okay, no problem. Zakharova reacted on social media on Wednesday, asking what kind of truce Kiev can offer, given that Zelensky government is, and I'm quoting, literally planning terrorist attacks on air. She added that the boasting about such intention is exactly what typical terrorists do. All right, well, what do you think? Do you know who's going to participate in the Victory Day parade? There's going to be Xi Jinping as well. Xi Jinping is ruler, president, how you want to call, in charge of China. And it's going to be Mr. Robert Fico. He is the prime minister of, or the president of Slovakia. I always have a problem with, I think he's the prime minister of Slovakia. And it's going to be some others. Maybe Vučić, the president of Serbia, is going to show up. So there's going to be, even Israel is going to have some representatives over there. So if you blow the shit up, are you going to hit 2 birds with 1 stone? Is that the goal? What do you think these guys are going to do? They're not going to go and talk peace. They're going to go and probably flatten you. That's what I think is going to happen. They're not going to play like, oh, see, the whole world, these guys are terrorists. At that point, I don't think they care. The Americans did not do that and say, see, those guys are terrorists. Oh, my God. No, they went over there and they flattened the wrong people. Saddam Hussein and the Afghans, whatever. So let's go to the Mr. Kellogg. Now, I know where you come from, but in my world, in my education, in my family, when someone made a statement, you are supposed to support your statement with arguments. Like you say, I don't go to school tomorrow, Daddy. And they say, okay, why don't you go to school? It was not left over there. I could say, school is stupid. And that's it. It wouldn't go that way. And say, why? What's wrong with you? Anything wrong, buddy? And he would figure out what's going on. I have to bring arguments. My tummy hurts, or anything like that, like lying, I don't want to go to school tomorrow, I have a test or something, or today. So you have to bring arguments, and you have to support them with evidence. That's how I'm used to. You can't just say, well, this guy is stupid. Okay, why is he stupid? Why do you think he's stupid? What did he say? What did he do? Demonstrable evidence. You can't just say, well, I think, I believe. No, where's the evidence? So the same with this guy, Kellogg. Remember, he's a diplomat. He thinks that Putin's proposal for 3-day truce is absurd. Okay, now he made a statement. Now he has to, or a thesis statement right here. I would like him to bring us the evidence, says Trump's Ukraine envoy. This guy right here. Why is it absurd? I want to know why. Why stopping the war for 3 days is a bad thing, is absurd. Is not workable? Functional? Then if it's not functional for 3 days, do you want for 30 days? Not 29 or 31. No. For 30 days? Why is it absurd? Is it because it comes from Putin? Well, whatever argument he's got, let's read it. So, Kellogg, special envoy to Ukraine and Russia, not Russia because they kicked him in the butt, has rejected a 3-day ceasefire proposal from Kremlin leader Vladimir Putin, stating that Washington is seeking a long-term truce in Ukraine. But in order to have in order to buy the Lamborghini, you have to test the Lamborghini. No? All right. Kellogg, commenting on the progress of the peace talks in recent days, expressed confidence the United States is in a pretty good position when it comes to the Ukrainians. Well, and I'm quoting, and the 3-day ceasefire is absurd. That's a statement. Okay, let's see how you support your statement with evidence. He said, commenting on Putin's proposed, let's comment. Kellogg stressed that Trump favors a comprehensive sea, air, land infrastructure ceasefire for a minimum of 30 days, and then we can extend that. Okay, so why 30 days? What if tomorrow the Russian says, you know what, we don't want 30 days, we want for 79 days? It's going to be called, again, absurd because it comes from Putin. Let's read further. Maybe he brings arguments in the next paragraph. Right there. And when you look at everything that the Ukrainians are willing to work with, like what exactly? Now it's over to the Russians, over to Putin. All right, that's it. We've got one side and you need to come to the other side. And I think we are close. Well, no, they got to one side. They said 3 days. 3 days, you say yes, 3 days, and then we got 30 days, and then we got 30 days, and then we're going to do 1 year, and then we're going to 1 year, and then we end the war. Why should it be the way you want it? You are on the losing side. Remember, the loser does not get to set the terms of the peace. You are the losers. You're not here because you have a big heart. Somewhere, some interest behind all this garbage are not making as much of a profit that they, how do you call it, portrayed, planned. That's what's going on. That's what they make profit, projected profits. No, they probably don't make it. Say, well, they make peace if it's if they make profits if it's peace. They make profits if it's war. They make profit on both together. A war, that's a war we're gonna arm. That's for next generations. We have to prepare you for the war maybe in the future. So they got both by the balls in the West. They don't want to stop. That's my assessment. I don't think that the Western interests, global interests coming from the West, do not want that war to end. And the people, when I call them traitors actually, in charge of a country who do their bidding, I think they are going to work towards not a peace. That's it. Maybe this is just a smokescreen. Just a smokescreen coming from the Americans saying, well, we tried. But you see, they're bad. Therefore, what do you do with bad people? You can't reason. Like you have, let's say, a rabies infested dog attacking you. Oh, stop. But then it's rabies. You're going to kick it in the mouth? What are you going to do? Are you going to shoot? What are you going to do? You can't reason with a dog when it has rabies. You can't say, see it, roll over or anything. So I think could be when these guys, we are exasperated. We tried. I think it's just they try to destroy any reputation coming from the Russians. Try to portray them as being crazy, criminals, idiots, whatever. You can't talk to them. You can't reason with them. So what do you do with people? And they're armed. We have to disarm them. How? Isn't that how we're going to do it? I expect that 50%. 50% I expect the Americans to say, you know what, we tried, now we have to really intervene. And if they're going to intervene, what do you think is going to happen? I think it's going to be a nuclear war. That's what I think. By the way, supposedly Modi is not going to come to Moscow. It's because he heard what Zelensky wants to do. It's all right. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.